here near Bitburg in Germany today with my friend Marius, who's going to show us around his crazy car collection. So we're going to walk around and then we're going to go out for a bit of a drive. So mate, what can you tell me about this?
Here is my 1973 Opel Ascona. I bought it from an elderly lady whose brother passed away. It was his car. And I got it for real cheap because it was sitting for 16 years. But when I got it out of the barn, it fired right up with the old fuel because it's a good Opel engine. It's the 2.2 CIH engine out of a Opel Rekord. It's got a little bit more horsepower than stock. It's it used to be a 1.6S and now it's a 2.2. It's got like 125 horsepower. But it's a really light car, rear-wheel drive. Good suspension, 16-inch wheels, and it goes really well. I'd like to keep it forever because it's as old as me.
So what's the story on this Corvette?
This is a C3 Corvette from America, obviously. It's got a real special paint job and some special spoilers in the front and in the back. In the front, it's from ACI fiberglass. It's a turbo, I guess, and in the back, it's the Indy. It's 1979, but it's been first registered in Germany. It's a genuine German Corvette with a km/h speedo.
Yeah.
It was registered in 1980, and it was just driven up to 91, and then stored in a bar. It's been off the road for 32 years. It's a 5.7, a genuine engine, usually with 225 horsepower, but it's got a little more. It's been refreshed back then.
Tell me about this.
Yes, it's different. It's a right-hand drive Jaguar XJS V12.
Yeah.
It's converted to manual.
So this is a UK car.
It's from England. I bought it in London, in Romford. And I bought it like 12 years ago. Flew there, got in the car, drove it home without any problem. Just a little problem. It was burbling a little bit on one side of the exhaust. And I finally found out, after a little bit fiddling, it had the wrong firing order. 2 cylinders were changed on the one bank. And after that, it ran really well.
And you drove this back from England to Germany?
I drove this back from England to Germany without a problem. And I had it ever since. It's been lowered a little bit. It's been converted to a manual transmission by an engineer who worked at Lister.
Now this, to me, looks very familiar, and I know why, but you can tell everyone why this is familiar.
This is the car that founded our friendship because I bought it from him in 2010. And it was quite cheap back then. It's an X300 4-liter. It was in really good condition back then, and now it's a little bit dusty, but it's still in good condition. And I kept it ever since because I really, really like the X300 Jaguar. And yes, it founded our friendship. I bought it from him off eBay. I just bid on it, and then I sent him a message, can you keep the car for 3 weeks? Because I had to mess around with coming over to UK and with a flight and everything and a train. And eventually I got there, I got the car, I was really surprised. It was good like this.
It's always good, a car from me.
Yeah. As I mentioned later on, it's always good buying a car from you. So, yeah, I'm really good enough at this.
And we spent about 2.5 hours talking. And
Yeah. So we got to know each other with this car, and I went back home. And some months later, he found my email on Facebook. So he got me up on Facebook, and then the story started. So we bought cars. He bought cars in Germany. I bought cars in UK. And we had a lot of fun since then, and he's my friend now.
Yes, definitely. Right, moving on from this then, before I try and buy it back off you.
No, you won't ever.
What's the story on this E28?
It's one of my best cars ever. I have this since 2002. I bought it back then from the first owner. It had already 356,000 kilometers back then. And I put another over 350 on it. It's got now over 700,000 kilometers.
Wow.
It's I changed the engine every now and then because I blew it up. I twisted and turned a little bit, and At one point, I had double the horsepower than stock. I drove it with a genuine 2.4 diesel engine with 230 horsepower instead of 150.
And this is another car you'll never sell.
This I won't ever sell. It's got 18-inch Alpina wheels, it's got special suspension, it's got 750i, 12-cylinder brakes in the front, it's got E34 trading arms in the back, and yeah, it's a real special car. You know, it's good for towing, it's good for driving everywhere, it's good on gas mileage, everything. Now there's again a 2.4 diesel engine in it. It's got around about 160 horsepower. It's running great. I take it out every now and then.
What about this? This looks very similar.
This is 318i Touring from factory, but it's converted to a 2.8 E36 engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got a lot of horsepower and it's going really well.
And of course, manual.
Of course, manual, because I don't like automatic cars.
So to keep all these cars running, you have to have a parts
Yeah,
tap.
there is my parts stock. It doesn't look as it, but it's well sorted. These are all axle parts. These are all bumpers, obviously. In the back, they're just BMW parts like E28 and E30. Over there, they are just Jaguar parts. And over here, we have engines, different engines like a 3-liter diesel engine, a 4-liter supercharged engine from a Jaguar, a 3.5-liter engine from an old BMW, a 2.7 TDVI from a Jaguar XJ.
And I noticed over there's something.
It's a brand new 2.4-liter engine from a BMW 524 TD.
So what? This is brand new, never used.
Brand new.
So what are you going to fit this into then?
I don't know, maybe it's too good to fit it in a car, you know?
So not only are you collecting cars, you're collecting engines as well.
Yeah, I'm collecting engines, I'm collecting wheels, I'm collecting seats, everything.
And this over here looks like a 4-wheel drive, but I can't see any wheels.
Yeah, this is the body shell of my 1988 Land Cruiser station. It's the HJ61.
Mm.
The body shell is completely restored. It's waiting for be putting that back on the chassis. It's back there in front. I can show you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, the body is completely restored. I didn't make this myself because I didn't have the time for all the body work and paint. So I sent this to Poland and got it made there. And they did a really, really good job. It's all straight now, rust-free, absolutely rust-free, painted inside, outside. And it's not a super like, how would you call it? Concours d'elegance paint job, but it's obviously it's a 4x4 and it's made to be used after that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And it's good.
yeah, it's like a work paint job.
Now this looks a little bit out of place in here.
This is my first ever Citroën CX, and I bought it in 1994 from one of my teachers at school for 50 marks, Deutsche Marks back then, which is equivalent to 25 euros, 20 quid. And it got just one hydraulic pipe damaged, and I fixed this, and I drove it ever since. And I put it was generally a not naturally aspirated diesel with 75 horsepower, and I put a turbo diesel in it with 120 horsepower. Later on, I turned it up a little bit, and it's now it's really good for towing because of the hydraulic suspension, and it always keeps leveled front and back, and it's got a real special direction which turns back automatically to straight.
So do you think it will get back on the road at some point?
Yes, I got an engine again to put in, and we'll be back on the road soon. I think next year. And it's got over 700,000 kilometers, even more than this one, than the BMW.
Unbelievable.
And these are really good cars. No one seems to mention them, but these are really, really good cars. It doesn't fit in the picture, maybe, but I like it a lot.
Well, going back to what does fit in the picture.
Yes.
What is this?
This is another 524 TD. It's without an engine. I bought it without an engine because the body is absolutely rust-free.
You've got an engine over there.
I've got an engine over there. Maybe it will go in there, but maybe also there will go a 3-liter M57 into it. Because you can turn up this a little bit more. You know?
And this is a solid shell, is it?
This is absolutely rust-free, and it's a rare color. It's Cinnober red.
Oh,
It's really rare, and it's been a genuine TD, which is also quite rare in Germany because of the taxes back then in the days like 2000 to 2010. They put up the taxes for diesels, and a lot of these cars were scrapped.
oh, really?
Yeah, it was very sad.
So what about this? This looks like a lovely car, but in a very sad place.
Environment, yes, it's currently my storage place.
And what wheels are they? Are
These
they
are-
AZVs?
Exactly. These are 17, and they're quite rare in 4x100.
Mm.
Yeah. And this is a 318 Touring, but it will be converted to a 3.5 liter.
All right. And this is also manual.
This is also manual, of course.
All right. Okay. So moving on, I
Moving
see a
on.
bit of a UK reg here.
This is a UK registered E30. Quite rare 325i genuine.
325i, yeah.
325i.
The earlier with the chrome bumpers.
Earlier with chrome bumpers, 2 doors, sport seats, sport steering wheel. It was, it had just 2 owners. It was an elderly lady, and it's got just 110,000 miles.
Wow. And this is a manual as well.
Genuine manual 325 without catalytic converter. The genuine 171 horsepower.
And how long has this been here?
This has been here for 12 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the engine turns and runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just needs a little bit of... It's
Just-
got to wait its turn, I suppose.
Yes, it waits for its turn. It needs a wing. I've got this already. I've got all the parts already. It needs a wing and some bodywork, but not too much. And obviously a paint job, yes.
This looks quite special.
This is also a very, very, very special car. It's a convertible, a genuine 325, which is stated on the plate. And it has been a complete scrap car. I just got the body shell from the original car and built it up with parts I had in my workshop. But the cage back then, it was already in there. It was a OMP cage and OMP harnesses, sparker seats, OMP wheel. In the beginning, there was a 2.5 engine in it. And then I had a 3.5 engine in it. And then I had an S50 M3 engine in it. And then a 3.5 Alpina engine, which is now still in the car. That's why, because the badge is on there from the B10.
Oh,
The
right.
B10 is a 5 Series, but the engine is from the 5 Series, and so I put this badge on.
And you've got the rat look bonnet.
Yeah, this is a special story. The car got burned down to the ground completely. I had a fire in the workshop, but the car burned down to the ground anyway. When I found out this car burned down, there were some other cars that burned down, but this I wanted to build up again because it was very, very special to me, and it's still very special to me. So I built it up again on the bare shell. I stripped it all down. I just kept the floors and the sides and the bulkhead.
Yeah.
And the rest was built up from scratch, new. And I just kept this bonnet as a reminder of the fire.
Wow.
I got another bonnet for it to put on with proper paint, but I just kept this bonnet because it came out like this out of the fire. It's just the shell and this bonnet that's still from the car.
And what is this?
This I bought just accidentally from a workmate. I sold a motorcycle to him and he was like, don't you like Citroëns? Don't you like this? And I was like, I like them, but I don't need to have it. But if you want to get rid of it for a good price, so I accidentally bought it.
What about this? Because we're going to take this out as well, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to take this out for a drive. This is a beast machine. This is my 1969 Chevrolet El Camino. I love this thing a lot. It's been converted from automatic to manual because I don't like automatics, as you mentioned already.
And how did you convert that? What gearbox did you go?
This is kind of a strange story. I converted it to a gearbox from a Jaguar S-Type diesel.
Oh, really?
From the 2.7 diesel because I had a gearbox like this laying around.
So you just made it fit?
I made it fit, yeah. I got an adapter plate from Poland.
Yeah.
They do an adapter plate for the Jaguar 8-speed gearbox. I think it's the ZF 8 HP. To put this gearbox on an LS engine, the Chevy LS engine. And the LS engine and the small block, which is in this car, got the same bolt pattern. And the Jaguar automatic gearbox got the same bolt pattern as the manual transmission from the S-Type.
Right.
So some people over in UK, they convert the V8 Jaguars to the manual gearbox from the S-Type diesel. So ordered this plate, and it just bolted right on.
Just fitted on.
So I could use the genuine Chevy flywheel and the pressure plate and the clutch and the gearbox from the Jaguar.
Wow.
And it needed just one little, what do you call it, the pilot bearing. One additional pilot bearing, original Chevy part, and it just
Spigot bearing.
went like this. Spigot bearing, exactly.
Yes.
It just went like this. Now it's got 6-speed manual, and it's a real beast. I converted the engine to programmable injection. And
Did you import this from the States?
Yes, I bought this in the States. A friend of mine, he looked at the car, he sent me 100 videos and photos and everything, and he was like, this is it. And it was a good price, and it was all including shipping and everything, and they did all the stuff for me. And I had a friend who picked it up in Rotterdam and brought it over to me, so it was here, and I was really happy with it.
Right, it's lovely.
Yeah.
And you had it painted?
Yes, I got it painted. I got the body of the frame. I got the body all refreshed and the frame all refreshed. And yeah, I did the conversion to manual. I did put a sport suspension in front and back with really thick anti-roll bars, and it goes really well.
So out of all these cars, which one do you use every day?
Which one? All of these I use every day. Mostly this, and it's a really good daily driver. You won't believe it, but it's really good on gas mileage.
This is your daily?
Yes, this is one of my dailies.
And the other?
The other one is a BMW 535. We get to this later.
We're going to go outside and have a look at that.
Outside, yeah.
Yeah. So what else have you got to show us in here? Anything else?
I've got still the chassis of the Land Cruiser.
Oh, let's have a look at the Land Cruiser chassis.
Yeah. The Land Cruiser chassis is still in work in progress. So it needs to be finished to put the readily restored body shell on the chassis.
So what you're going to do, take the engine out and everything?
Yeah, I'm going to take the engine out, it's going to be blasted, it's going to be repaired, it's got new suspension for it. So it's going to be really proper to put the chassis, to put the body back on.
And you think this will be done, what, within a couple of years?
No, this will happen this winter.
Oh, really?
So next spring, I'm going to drive the Land Cruiser.
So we'll have to see some pictures and we'll come back and do a follow-up video.
I will be coming over to UK. I want to go to the UK with the Land Cruiser, and I'm going to visit you in the Land Cruiser. Here we got another special car. It's the 535i, genuine from factory, with self-locking differential, a good 3.5 engine. It's been converted to a modern injection from E34. It's got Taurus red leather interior, which is super rare. Was just made for these 535s, just 2 years, and it's so rare. I bought a car with the interior over in UK, and I just brought the car back to get this interior.
Really?
Yes. I have this for a long time. I bought it in 2008.
Oh, wow.
15 years ago. And back then it was quite cheap, but kept building it up. I refreshed the differential. It's now with 45% LSD, and I love it a lot. I drive it a lot. It's been registered as a regular car.
So this is your other daily?
Yes, this is my other daily. This is a Volvo H50 TDI with a good, reliable 2.5 TDI engine, which was originally an Audi engine, but they took it over for the H50. It was the first big front-wheel drive Volvo. And it's like this because we took it for a cheap car rally, the garbage run, the so-called garbage run. Dutch people, they do it. Garbage, yes. It was garbage instead of garbage. And the conditions are, the car has to cost maximum 250 euros.
250 euros?
No, the price is actually 500 euros, but I paid 250 for this car.
Really?
back in 2017. I bought it for 250 euros. It was just the alternator was dead. I had to put a new alternator in. We did all the rally, the first, down to Spain and back with no problem at all. And it's a super reliable car. And back in 2019, I did another 2 rallies up to Norway, and just 2 weeks after that down to Romania and Bulgaria, Greece, and it was over to like 13 countries in 1 week. We made 13,000 kilometers in 3 weeks altogether.
And not a problem.
Not a problem, not one problem at all.
And how many times have you taken this on the run?
Now,
One this year?
5 times, because
5 times?
this year we took it to another run down to Portugal without any problem.
So all this is
And in
your
between,
run car.
I used it 2 years as a daily driver. So this is another daily driver. Crazy as it looks, but I drive this every day.
And you still drive it every day?
I'm still driving it every day. You could jump in now and go to wherever you want. It's just past the 400,000 kilometers.
It's crazy. Have you got anything else, anything a bit more normal?
A bit more normal.
Maybe, I don't know, Audi, Volkswagen.
Yeah, I got something special.
Okay.
I got something special.
Now this definitely doesn't fit with the other
Yeah,
cars.
this is not so much of a special car, but it's special for me because I had one of these. I bought it new, brand new, back in 1992. And it was the same like this, not the same color, but the same car. It's a 1.6 absolute base model. It's got nothing in it, no options, nothing at all. It's a 4-speed manual, no electric windows, no nothing, no air conditioning. It's got a clock instead of a ref counter. And it's an absolute base model. And I bought one like this, exactly like this, back in the day, 1992, and I crashed it twice. Once I crashed it in the front and it was repaired, and after that I had a huge accident and it was in 3 pieces back then in the days. I survived. I had nothing, but the car was dead. And like a few months ago, a workmate, he came up with this car and he was like, don't you like an Audi? And I was like, show me. And he was like, oh yeah, 1.6 base model.
Did you not think that I don't want to buy one of these because I nearly killed myself in one?
Oh no, I didn't care. It was like that back in the days. You crash your car, you buy a new one.
So what's your plan with this? Restore?
No,
Just leave?
it's not to restore because it's in really good condition. It's one owner car. It has been local to here, the next village. It was the first owner, and he passed away like 2 years ago. My workmate bought it but never registered, so technically it's still one owner car. And yeah, I could register it like this. It's no problem with the car. It runs and drives. It's in good condition. It's no rust. It just works.
We're going to go out and take some of these cars out, are we?
Yes.
Let's go and do it.